Hi, I'm Jessica. I'm an integrative health practitioner and health coach. And if you found this channel, chances are you're a woman over 40 and you really want to move through your 40s and move beyond feeling absolutely fabulous. And today I'm going to share with you my 5 best health habits for women over 40. Now, these 5 health habits are habits that I encourage my clients to do, and I just keep on getting really good results with my clients when they do these 5 things. These are also 5 health habits that I use myself. So I'm super excited to get into this with you, and we'll start right now. Tip number 1. One of the things that I recommend pretty early on in my coaching program with clients is to start their day off with a glass of water with a half a lemon juiced and a pinch of salt. And the reason for this is this acts as kind of like a natural electrolyte drink in that you're getting potassium and sodium. That helps to support your adrenals. Now, I would recommend them taking this in the morning because cortisol levels should be higher. So your adrenals should be pushing out more cortisol earlier in the day, and then it should kind of taper off throughout the day. Now, the thing about cortisol level is that as you have chronic stressors just building up in your life, even if they're low-grade stress, what can happen is that your cortisol levels can become dysregulated. What that could look like is it could be maybe too high in the morning, too low in the evening, too high in the morning, too high in the evening. It could even be that, and this is what happens over time, most of the time, and the test results that I tend to see look a little bit low. So you might start your day off with low cortisol and it just plummets throughout the day. So your energy level is going to be pretty low throughout the day. So what this drink does, this natural Gatorade or natural electrolyte drink does, is it helps to feed your adrenals so they could produce a bit more cortisol. So very, very important for energy production. So this is one of the steps that I have my clients do when they're starting out with me so that they could have a little bit of a boost of energy. Now, it's absolutely fine if you drink this throughout the day, especially if your cortisol levels are low throughout the day. I usually run a lab for this for my clients. If you're interested in that, just reach out to me. I'd be happy to help set you up with that specific lab. Tip number 2, take a walk after lunch. The great thing about taking a walk after lunch is it helps to reduce glucose spikes, that's blood sugar spikes, that you might have gotten from your lunch. So say if you had a lunch that had some amount of carbs, what typically would happen is that after about 30 minutes or so, you would see a spike in your blood glucose levels. Where there's a spike, your body starts to shove out more insulin to take care of that spike, which will bring your blood glucose levels down. Now, when that happens, if they dip too far, you could feel just really tired all of a sudden. You probably experienced this at some point in time and kind of wondered what it is. Gosh, I'm feeling so tired. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and you just want to reach for something sweet to give you more energy, or maybe you want to reach for a coffee, something like that. The way that you help to solve this problem and make your energy levels more stable throughout the afternoon is to move your body. This could be a brisk 10-minute walk or a 20-minute walk. I myself enjoy a nice walk around the neighborhood, down to the water, and then back home. I have a home office, so that's what I love to do. If you're working back in your office, having a little bit of a walk, even if it's just a 10-minute walk after lunch, will help stabilize your energy so that you can move through your afternoon without having that slump. Tip number 3, eat more protein. My recommendation is to get about 20 to 45 grams of protein per meal. Now, the reason why I would recommend this for someone is if they have low energy. And I've seen this time and time again, the very moment that my client bumps up their protein intake and starts their day off with protein, all of a sudden their energy levels start to improve. And this is so important, especially if you're feeling low in energy just just in general, bumping up your protein can make a big difference. The other reason is that over time, we start to lose muscle mass, and we need proteins in order to build muscle, which brings us to tip number 4, adding in strength training or body weight exercises into your exercise routine. Now, there's a couple of reasons for this. One, we just lose muscle mass as we age, and what we want to do is we want to keep on our muscle mass because it's not just for an aesthetic, right? We not only want to feel strong and be strong so we could do all the things that we've always wanted to do. It's also critical when it comes to balancing your blood sugar levels, your blood glucose levels. This will help to balance out energy. Again, energy is really important. Strength is really important. So adding in those body weight exercises or weight training exercises will help you with that. Not only that, but when you build up muscle, you're also increasing your testosterone levels. But what I've seen in my practice is that the average 40-something-year-old woman or 50-something-year-old woman will tend to have a drop overall in all of their sex hormones, as well as a drop in their cortisol levels throughout the day. This is often the result of just prolonged stress, chronic stressors, right? So one of the things that we want to do is to help boost your cortisol levels, help boost those sex hormone levels. One of the ways that we do that is with weight training or body weight exercises. These could be very simple exercises. They could simply be lunges, squats, push-ups. You could work on your triceps using a chair as a prop. There are some great online programs, plenty of free online videos to help give you some ideas in how to incorporate body weight or weightlifting exercises into your routine. Health habit number 5, creating a consistent bedtime routine. This is absolutely the most important thing to focus in on if you feel that you're not getting good quality sleep or enough sleep at night. In fact, if this is the case with clients that I work with, this will be the number one thing that we target first. Sleep. How much should you be getting? You should be getting about 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. Now, in terms of your sleep cycles, deep sleep is incredibly important. And for that, you should be getting about 1.5 to 2 hours per night of deep sleep. Now, the way that I track deep sleep and overall sleep, and using a tracker like an Oura Ring, this is what I have here. The Oura Ring will do this, a Fitbit will do this. I believe Apple Watch also has this capability as well. You just need to get an app for that. Starting to track your sleep quality and sleep cycles throughout the night could be really great feedback so that you could see what are the things that you do during the day or in the evening that impact those numbers, either your overall sleep or your deep sleep. That is it for how much sleep and deep sleep you could get. Now let's talk a little bit about sleep habits to help you get there. So one of the first things that I have my clients do, if at all possible, is I ask them to try to target not going to bed later than 10 o'clock at night. For some of you night owls, you might find, but that's where, I start to do all this work. It's my moment to connect with maybe my husband. I understand that completely, but here's the thing. Your deep sleep will happen between 10 and 2 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't just go in a straight line. You don't just have deep sleep. Your body will cycle in and out of deep sleep. So in order to get that 1.5 to 2 hours of deep sleep, getting into that sweet spot between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. is really important. Everyone has a natural circadian rhythm that goes along with the day. This is how we evolve. Our melatonin production does go up in the evening time to get us ready for bed. But there's another piece of the puzzle here. When you're in deep sleep, your body's lymphatic system starts to ramp up and turn on. And what's happening during that deep sleep time is that the lymphatic system, this is all in your brain, is working on flushing out your brain of toxins, endotoxins, dead cells, heavy metals, other chemicals that you might have come into contact throughout the day that maybe is building up in your brain. The other piece of this is that during that deep sleep cycle, your brain really starts to move short-term memories into the long-term memories. So when you're not getting enough sleep and not getting enough deep sleep, one of the things that you could start to notice, not just the lack of energy, but you might notice that you're forgetting things that you did the day before. So this could be one of the reasons for that. Now, the thing is, with that deep sleep and that lymphatic system really working, is that you might find if you stay up just a little bit too late, that you'll get that quote unquote second wind. And that second wind is actually your body trying to get ready for this massive detoxification of the brain. So when you stay up too late and you have that second wind, you are robbing yourself of that detoxification process. The lymphatic system working its best to do what's best for you and your brain. So, bedtime routine, at least by 10 o'clock at night, right? The next thing you want to do is to really start to wind down at night as well. So we talked a little bit about melatonin production. That goes up in the evening as your cortisol levels start to drop. Your melatonin goes up. It's getting your body ready for rest. Now, if you use a screen like a cell phone or an iPad or your computer, or you're watching movies late at night, the blue light from your screen can impact melatonin production. It could actually cause it to drop a little bit, causing you to have more difficulty getting to sleep. So switching off the screen time, at least within 2 hours of your sleep time, is really incredibly helpful. Now, there is one workaround, is that you could use blue light blocking glasses. I have some blue light blocking glasses if I really need to use the screen at night. And there's also a screen setting on some devices. I think phones and iPads and laptops have a blue light blocking screen. This could be helpful as well, but ideally what you want to do is reduce the amount of stimulus that your brain is getting at night, and you want to reduce the blue light that is disrupting your melatonin production. So very important. Another thing that I recommend as a part of a bedtime routine is to really watch what you're consuming at night. Now, if you're reading a book, for instance, if you find it is a particularly exciting book, I've got a number of books that I read, and I make a point not to read any books about health and wellness because I just get so excited about it. I also don't read any news because that could be upsetting. And what I'm trying to do is really relax my nervous system before bed. The things that I consume at night before bed do not include the news, don't include exciting books. It definitely doesn't include scrolling through social media. What really relaxes me is just reading a silly book. It could be something that I find amusing, just entertaining, really relaxing, something that I could absolutely put down when it's time for me to fall asleep. Other tips that I teach my clients to make sure that they're cutting out the light, any kind of light coming into the room. You could do this with blackout curtains. You could get those easily from many stores, Pottery Barn, IKEA. Blackout curtains are very, very helpful to creating a dark environment. Now, if you're like me and your daughter is down the hall and has her nightlight on and that light kind of shines into the room a little bit, I just use a sleep mask. So I have my sleep mask on. The other thing that I make sure to do is to make sure that my room isn't too warm. And during the summertime, that might be taking off some of the covers or replacing some of my comforters with a lighter weight blanket. I also make sure to open windows at night, and then during the winter time, I just make sure to set the thermostat down to the eco setting to make sure the room isn't too warm, because sleeping in a hot environment could also impact your sleep. Another thing that I do and for you who have spouses or partners that happen to snore, this might be very helpful for you. I actually use earplugs at night. Yes, my husband does snore a bit. I use earplugs to help block out some of those noises, and that really has helped me sleep throughout the night consistently. So that wraps up my 5 best health habits for women over 40. If you like this content, please be sure to leave a comment down below and click the subscribe button. Be sure to click the little bell so that you receive notifications for the next time I upload a video. In the meantime, I will see you next Thursday, and have a great rest of your week.